the World Report. Let's begin with Bangladesh, and the unrest in the country continues to escalate as protesters mount pressure on the Yunus government. Days after the brutal murder and lynching of Dipu Chandra, a 25-year-old Hindu youth in Bangladesh, now the Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council, a minority rights group in Bangladesh, held a demonstration in Dhaka demanding justice for Dipu Das's death and calling for the Yunus government to act against growing extremism in Bangladesh. Meanwhile, former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has now doubled down on the interim chief, saying chaos and violence is the norm under the new government. Take a look at this ground report.
In Singh, Hindu people named Dipu Chandra became to death in charges of blasphemy, and the Hindu community stand in front of press club demanding justice against the death of Dipu Chandra and after 5th August in 2024 in Bangladesh. At least 5 minority community people have been died in Bangladesh. And this type of extrajudicial killing is spreading all over the country. Not only extrajudicial killing, but also rape, vandalism, set fire on different types of political parties, leaders' houses spread all over the country. That's why the Hindu community and the minority community started human change and the protest assembles all over the country.
Now, items from the Epstein files, including a picture of Donald Trump, have been removed by the Justice Department from its website because of concerns raised by victims. The Deputy Attorney General has said that Democrats are now questioning what else is being covered up. The US Department of Justice has responded to the removal. They say the files were temporarily removed after requests from individuals alleging to be victims. They say the files that were taken down are to be released again with appropriate redactions if legally required. One of the images removed, which had a picture of Donald Trump, is now restored after officials determined none of Epstein's victims were in the image. New Zealand and India struck a free trade agreement, making it easier for New Zealand's exporters to reach the world's biggest population. The new trade eliminates or reduces tariffs on 95% of New Zealand's exports to India, with more than half of the products to be duty-free on day one of the pact. This is set to improve access to India's rapidly expanding middle class. New Zealand would offer about 1,667 temporary work visas a year for people in areas where it has skills and shortages.
So this is a free trade agreement with New Zealand, which is both comprehensive and forward-looking, reflecting the vision of our two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Lakson, to elevate the relations to much higher strategic levels, much more comprehensively, which will not only include trade, education, R&D and innovation, services sector in a very big way, tourism, sports. It's a very multifarious engagement, particularly to benefit our farmers and dairy through technical collaboration, which will help them upgrade quality, productivity, and therefore the incomes of our farmers and dairy persons.
A passenger bus crashed, killing at least 16 people on Indonesia's main island of Java. Police and rescue teams arrived about 40 minutes after the accident and recovered the bodies of 6 passengers who died at the scene. The inter-province bus was travelling from the capital Jakarta when it overturned while entering a curved exit ramp. Another 10 people died on the way to a hospital or while they were being treated. The 18 victims being treated at the 2 nearby hospitals include 5 people in critical condition and 13 in serious conditions.
Tersebut dari arah Jakarta dengan tujuan Yogyakarta, sampainya di tikungan simpang susun tersebut dengan kecepatan cukup tinggi, maka bus tersebut menabrak pembatas jalan sehingga mengakibatkan bus tersebut terbalik.
Switching tracks now, the US Coast Guard is pursuing an oil tanker in international waters near Venezuela. Now, the move would be the second such operation this weekend and the third in less than 2 weeks if successful. According to a US official, the tanker was under sanctions but added that it had not been boarded so far. The interceptions can take different forms, including by sailing and flying close to vessels of concern. Female rapper Nicki Minaj made a surprise appearance at a gathering of conservatives in Arizona that was in memory of the late activist Charlie Kirk. The rap star was interviewed at the Turning Point USA's America Fest convention. This is the convention by the widow of Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk. Minaj spoke about her newly found support for Trump, someone she had condemned in the past. The rapper also spoke about her actions denouncing violence against Christians in Nigeria. Kirk thanked Minaj for being courageous despite the backlash she has received from the entertainment industry for expressing support for Donald Trump.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to.
And power was restored Sunday morning to the bulk of 130,000 homes and businesses in San Francisco impacted by a massive outage. This is the Pacific Gas and Electric Company that said that its crew had restored electricity to about 11,000 people. This is 110,000 customers. Officials worked to restore the remaining 21,000 in several neighborhoods and small areas of downtown San Francisco. However, the company said that it could not provide a precise time frame for when the power would be fully restored. Additional engineers and electricians are on the job to help with restoration efforts that now have been mobilized.
Decided to just throw on our shoes, hit the streets, maybe try to find a bite to eat. But yeah, this is crazy. We've never seen it like this before.
Unacceptable. I've never seen anything like this in the over a decade I've been here in San Francisco. There will have to be further investigation and questions have to be answered to understand what went wrong.
Now, the American Automobile Association, or the AAA, projects 122.4 million Americans who will set to travel at least 50 miles from home over the next 13 days. This is the year-end holiday period, and this year's forecast is a 2.2% increase over last year, 2024, surpassing last year's record of 119.7 million travelers. Now, the projection is a record of 8.03 million travelers that will take domestic flights this holiday season. This marks that increase in comparison to last year, and this will be the first time on record that the number of domestic air travelers over the year-end holiday period exceeds that 8 million mark.
Saturday and Sunday before Christmas will be very busy, also the Monday and Tuesday. Once you get to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, things slow down a bit. So if you've got still some flexibility, maybe book a Christmas Day flight. Those tend to be cheaper, and airports are just calmer on Christmas Day.
Now, the supply and price of oil in Venezuela's domestic market has shown significant fluctuations. The observation comes amid the tightening of oil blockade imposed by the United States. In less than 2 weeks, the U.S. has stepped up its oil blockade of Venezuela by intercepting multiple tankers in international waters near the country. However, the intense situation doesn't cause much waves within Venezuela. At petrol stations, there has been a panic. There's been panic buying, and there have been long queues at the fuel pumps.
Él se mantuvo de ayer a hoy. He visto que es el mismo, ¿sí? Ellos se quieren apoderar del mercado, que no pueden, quieren hacerlo de cualquier manera u otra. Esto que todas son provocaciones. Esperemos que no pase más allá, de verdad.
The United States and Ukrainian officials have held talks over the last 3 days in Florida aimed at ending the war between Ukraine and Russia. The U.S. Special Ambassador Steve Witkoff called the meetings and separate talks with Russian negotiators very, very productive. That was the reaction after the meeting that lasted over 3 days. U.S. President Donald Trump has been pressurizing Ukraine and Russia to come to an agreement to end that war that's lasted almost 4 years. Villages in Thailand's Sisaket province, which borders Cambodia, are quiet. They're empty after residents were evacuated to shelters. The Prime Minister of Thailand said that the forces in Thailand have taken control of nearly all targeted areas and are now compelling Cambodian forces to withdraw. The areas are being closely monitored to prevent any renewed clashes. The latest round of Thailand-Cambodia conflict, which reignited since the 7th of December, has resulted in the death of at least 34 Thai civilians.
หลบภัยแล้วไปศูนย์อพยพหมดแล้วคันเหลือแต่พี่ทีมรักษาความปลอดภัยอะไรจะมาใช่ไหมน่าจะยังน่าจะอีกนานโอเคดูสถานการณ์ก่อนครับเพราะตรงนี้เป็นพื้นที่ที่ยังไม่จบ
Southeast Asian foreign ministers are set to meet in Malaysia. That meeting is taking place today, seeking to end border clashes between Thailand and Cambodia. The conflict has killed at least 40 people, displaced more than 500,000 this month itself. The ministers will seek to revive a short-lived ceasefire brokered by Malaysia and Donald Trump, and the meeting has been chaired by the Malaysian foreign minister that is considering steps to help de-escalate the situation and end the fighting. Japan is set to take the final step to restart the world's largest nuclear power plant. The step marks a watershed moment in the country's pivot back to, this is in order to nuclear since the 2011 Fukushima disaster. Now located about 220 kilometers northwest of Tokyo is Kashiwazaki Kariwa, that was among the 54 reactors that were shut after the earthquake that took place in 2011. The earthquake and the tsunami crippled the area. This is the plant in Fukushima. This is the Daiichi plant in the worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. Now, since then, Japan has restarted 14 of the 33 that have been operational as it tries to wean itself off imported fossil fuels. The recent remarks made by Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi regarding Taiwan has taken a toll on the country's tourism. The sector is facing mass cancellations of trips from Chinese tourists. Osaka, a city heavily reliant on inbound tourism, has experienced a sharp drop in the number of Chinese tourists. The signs of a similar tourism slump remains across Kyoto, where local businesses are also heavily dependent on Chinese tourists. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday announced a new trade deal between Euro-Asian Economic Union and Indonesia. Putin has chaired a meeting of the group in St. Petersburg. The bloc, established in 2014, includes Belarus, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, along with Russia and Armenia. The Russian leader also described the Euro-Asian Economic Union as one of the most independent and self-sufficient centers of the multipolar world.
Расширяются взаимные торговые, инвестиционные обмены, углубляются кооперационные связи участников объединения. Все это приносит реальную выгоду каждому из наших государств. Позитивно сказывается на качестве жизни и благосостоянии населения. И в целом помогает обеспечивать экономическую стабильность и устойчивость стран пятерки и всего Евразийского региона, что особенно важно в условиях турбулентности в глобальной экономике.
Now, thousands of people gathered on Sunday in the Serbian city of Novi Pazar to protest. The people were protesting in support of students and professors at the city's university, with demonstrators there saying that dozens of professors have lost jobs and students were not able to enroll at the university after taking part in the nationwide protests against the government. However, the university denies the allegations and the crowd held a moment's silence and then marched down the streets carrying banners and flags.
Ovo što rade studenti posljednjih mjeseci i posljednjih godina
na našim prostorima, u našoj državi, u Sandžaku i širom Republike Srbije zaista predstavlja jedan iskreni pokušaj za ozdravljenjem našeg celokupnog društva. Ciljevi za koje se oni bore u stvari su ciljevi za koje se trebamo boriti svi zajedno.
Colombia have flocked to the capital to see special ice sculptures that retell the story of the birth of Jesus. The icy scene depicts the baby Jesus in a manger. This is next to basically parents Mary and Joseph. That installation successfully brought together faith, art and technical skills. The creation took approximately about 1 month of work and requires 20 tons of ice. It is set inside a refrigerated container kept at -12 degrees Celsius.
La idea era que comenzaran desde una experiencia muy básica del frío, del ambiente, hasta llevarlos al límite. Y por eso quisimos que fuera en un espacio totalmente donde el frío fuera muy, muy fuerte, y qué mejor que tuviéramos la experiencia de esa noche blanca, de esa noche fría de Belén, donde Jesús nació con todas las incomodidades.
In more news, it's the Beckham family feud that's now playing out in public. David and Victoria Beckham have reportedly unfollowed their son on social media site. We're talking about Brooklyn, with reports claiming that the move reflects a deeper family stress. Brooklyn's brother, Cruz, claims that Brooklyn has cut ties with parts of the family altogether. Meanwhile, the eldest Beckham son and his wife, Nicola Peltz, have been absent from major family events, including the 50th birthday of David Beckham, the celebrations in which the eldest son and his wife were missing. So what's really behind the fallout? Well, reports are pointing to lingering issues from the couple's wedding back in 2022, including Nicola's decision to wear a Valentino gown instead of a design by Victoria Beckham, as well as an ongoing disagreement as far as money and lifestyle choices are concerned. While no one in the family has directly confirmed a feud, the signs are growing harder to ignore, suggesting this famous family drama is far from over. And with that, we're slipping into a short break. Back with a whole lot more. Stay with us. Welcome back. Designers, models and fashion enthusiasts gathered in Lagos this weekend for Nigeria's biggest fashion showcase. Africa Fashion Week Nigeria 2025 is one of the country's biggest fashion events, displaying homegrown creativity. Designers presented collections inspired by traditional Nigerian textiles blended with contemporary cuts. The event now is in its second decade, that was first held in 2013. It was helped basically launch the careers of designers who have gone on to show in London, in Paris and in New York.
Fashion shows like this is actually crucial to showing how much African fashion has evolved over the years. So it's very crucial for everybody to resonate with events like this, so they can actually tap from Africa's culture through fashion generally.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition. News and updates will continue. Well, we keep getting you the latest as far as the World Report is concerned. Stay tuned.